Delays may cause some issues. The whole process is extremely complex. Very small part, but it could cause a lot. When a country becomes really hot for investment, for living, it'll be harder to establish the tension between the two countries for weeks or even months. Makes it very hard to not put down the wrong one. Almost impossible for you to get a Vietnamese citizenship. Recently, a goalkeeper from the Czech Republic became a Vietnamese citizen because one of his parents was born in Vietnam. This allowed him to play for the Vietnam national team. The 31-year-old has the highest transfer value of $650,000 US. And also he won the best goalkeeper of the year in the Czech Republic National Football League for the 2018-2019 season. The reason I'm bringing this up is because getting your citizenship by descent is a great way to get an affordable second passport. Most of these passports are very high quality. However, there are people make many different mistakes in the process of getting these second passports. So you got to make sure that you understand what's happening and then to get proper advice for your second passport to avoid many of these mistakes. So if you're thinking about getting your Vietnam passport as your second or third citizenship, there may be some delays in the application process, but don't blame Vietnam for it. If you consider the United States takes about 5 to 6 weeks to get a renewal on a US passport, and many other citizenship countries would take 2, 3, even 5 years. So waiting 6 to 12 months to get the Vietnamese passport is actually a very short period of time. So I know that delays may cause some issues, especially similar to the professional goalkeeper. It may delay the period of time that he can actually play, or he has to wait for the next season. So in this video, we're going to talk about the road to a second citizenship, especially Vietnam, and how they can experience delays. We're going to use real-world examples in order to make the complexities much clearer. So let's get started. Hello, my name is Ken Duong, international and business immigration lawyer with over 15 years of experience helping individuals to invest all over the world, especially here in Vietnam, including retirement. And one of the services that we've done really well is we've done over 200 Vietnamese passports in order for Vietnamese overseas to live, work, invest, and retire in Vietnam. So there are two ways to get Vietnamese citizenship. Click on the right-hand corner of the pop-up banner in order to determine which one you qualify for. But in today's video, I'm going to talk specifically about Vietnamese citizenship by descent. So if you click on our eligibility form, you will determine whether you will qualify for it. However, the whole process is extremely complex, especially when you need to establish descent. There were certain processes that you have to go through, such as background checks, police checks, information about your family in Vietnam, and other potential political risks as well. So these factors come into play in your application process. Once you understand all of these matters, then you understand how to process and any potential delays that may arise. The first potential delay is if you submit incomplete or incorrect documentation. After you've qualified for the Vietnamese passport, we have to collect a lot of documentation that will prove your descent to Vietnam. And if you do not submit all the documentation or incomplete documentation, then it's a very small part, but it could cause a lot of delays. So for example, the marriage certificate between your parents, your mother and father, to show that you are the child born to the parents, if you do not submit that, that small detail will be harder to establish that you have descent to Vietnam. Such oversights, although small, could set you back or delay for weeks or even months. Another potential delay could be in the background check or background certificate. For folks who have lived in many different countries around the world, it actually may be difficult to get a police certificate or background check in all of those countries to show that you have a clear criminal or police record. So high volume in applications has caused delay as well. So as you know, when a country becomes really hot for investment, for living, and also retiring, then the requirement for citizenship increases as well. We have over a few thousand leads for requests to have Vietnamese passports by descent, but also a few more hundred just for non-Vietnamese who want to get Vietnamese citizenship as well. So when you have this amount of applications, it has increased by threefold, which makes it very hard and taxing on the immigration system to process. Therefore, due to these high application amount, the Vietnamese government itself cannot process it in time, and thus causing a lot of delays in these particular applications. So let's be honest. Diplomatic and political relationships are also important in processing different visas and applications as well. For example, if you are of descent of Chinese and also Vietnamese, it'll be very difficult because of the tension between the two countries. Other countries that used to be very easy but now also creating a few issues as well are United States and Vietnam. Although we have great relationships, but there were issues regarding repatriation during COVID of Vietnamese nationals and also Vietnamese overseas who had Vietnamese passports when they were coming back. There was a whole group that were put in jail and were investigated because they were improperly allowing certain people to come back to Vietnam. This was a big strain on the immigration system, thus causing problems between the US and Vietnam, also China and Vietnam. So as of right now, if you're Vietnamese descent and you're living in China or you also have a Chinese passport, it would be very, very difficult, almost impossible for you to get a Vietnamese citizenship by descent. So one notable factor that impacts the application is address verification. Many of our clients have lived abroad for a long time or have moved abroad, and also in the last 50 years, Vietnam has changed dramatically in its address verification and its naming and labeling of different blocks. So if you have an address that you are unsure of whether it still exists now, definitely use the map, definitely ask your family members, and also verify with the local government there that this is the address that what it used to be before, and it may have changed 3, 4, even 5 times in the last 50 years. Please make sure that you write down the right address, verify the address, and do not put down the wrong one, because that's where a lot of the delays in having the police find and identify where you used to live. So address verification is extremely important. Make sure that you confirm it before you submit the application to us, and we will also confirm as well with you and the local authorities to make sure it's the right one. So obtaining citizenship by descent can be a complex process, requiring you to gather documents from 1, 2, 3, or even 4 generations, especially if you plan to get the citizenship for your children as well. But at Duong Global, we have a team of immigration and investment experts to help you go through the process, gather the documents, translate them, notarize, submit, and also follow up as well. In order to mitigate many of the delays that you may have, make sure that you are thorough with your documents, checking through all the information provided, checking with your family, and also working with our team closely so that all the documents are submitted, properly verified to the local authorities so that they can do their work and be able to obtain your Vietnamese citizenship. But you can also be extremely proactive by being thorough with your documents and submitting properly. Also, we have made a whole playlist regarding Vietnamese citizenship that you can watch regarding benefits, burdens, process, current updates, and also other information about that. So you can watch that whole playlist before you contact us, and that would help us tremendously. So getting a second or third citizenship is a multifaceted, multi-step process, especially getting the Vietnamese one. But we've done over 200 Vietnamese passports successfully throughout the 15 years, and we can definitely help you. In order to minimize the delays and getting your passport faster, you can definitely contact us. So on behalf of Duong Global, I hope that this video was useful to you, and also that you understand why there's a slightly longer delay in processing your application, but we guarantee you that we will get it done. So as always, thank you for watching this video. Make sure you like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, comment below about your process, and also click on the bell for notifications. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.